Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. Today we're checking out the remastered Mihile in MapleStory Korea. This class can be incredibly strong thanks to their Royal Guard skill. Mihile spends more time being invincible than any other class, but his mobbing and damage were always a bit on the lower side. The remaster aims to give Mihile more tools to grind with while keeping his status as an absolutely defensive giga chat. This update has already been released in MapleStory Korea, and we in MapleStory Global and MapleStory C can expect this update to be our winter update. Mihile also has the longest tutorial out of all the Night of Sickness. You follow a special story that only is there for Mihile. It actually ain't too bad, with plenty of hunting and collecting missions in between. So you're not just holding spacebar like with the Explorer tutorial, the story seems to be better written as well. In first job, the skill you mob with has gotten a small range improvement and of course new visuals, and Royal Guard looks pretty dope as well. By the way, while reading up on everything there was one thing that I did not see earlier. Nexon is still reviewing the damage output of the Night of Sickness classes, so we should be expecting some more damage changes to be applied later with the next part of the Ignition update. Mihile's new first job mobbing skill deals 2 lines of 190% damage and has a chance to leave a darkness debuff now. This works well with your other new skill called Soul Attack. This passive allows for Mihile to deal 10% more damage and gain 10% more critical chance when attacking monsters inflicted with darkness. Final damage that is, by the way, not just damage. And of course Royal Guard is still there as well. And even this skill got a small damage boost. For example, on the third stack the damage was increased from 440% to 470%. This skill is pretty busted already. Not sure why it needed more damage, but hey, I'm down for it. So far so good, and the second job has gotten some nice improvements as well. The new second job attack is basically a remastered version of the old 4th job bossing skill. But no worries though, this skill does hit up to 6 monsters, and of course it leaves a darkness debuff as well. It's pretty decent to grind with combined with Royal Guard. Mihile's rush and upwards rush skills have gotten a new look as well. You now use a shield instead of a sword, and their rage skill now passively increases the damage on your Royal Guard counter stacks. Get more damage for the skill, nice. Mihile is actually shaping up to be something quite nice. I might hyperburn this one to level 250. I think this would be a pretty fun bossing mule. Third job is where we get another new attacking skill. No more swords raining from the sky or lasers. Instead we flashbang monsters with our shield. We also flashbang ourselves with the new massive animational Royal Guard. And the Soul Link skill has been changed as well. When this toggle skill is active, Mihile used to increase party members' attack and magic attack, abnormal status resistance and defense whenever Mihile succeeded the Royal Guard. But now the skill increases those stats periodically by itself, regardless if you succeed Royal Guard or not. But if you do Royal Guard successfully, every party member will receive a shield equal to 10% of their max HP. Some of Mihile's passives got a small boost as well. Some values got swapped around, but I think it's a net positive with a bit more final damage for this class. And there is a new third job skill called Offensive Defense. Whenever you activate the counter damage of Royal Guard, this leaves a debuff on monsters for 20 seconds. If Mihile then uses any of his other attacks to hit the monster, an additional shockwave will pop out, this one right there on the Infernal Wolf, dealing 350% damage 5 times up to 6 enemies. But this effect does have a 12-second cooldown. This is actually a pretty decent damage increase from Mihile when they go pulsing. The 5th job Nodestone that buffs Royal Guard now buffs this skill as well. Your mobbing attack in 4th job is still Shining Cross, which has gotten a new animation, a slightly bigger hitbox and a bit more damage, plus this skill has gotten a new mode. Whenever your 4th job Soul Rage toggle skill is on, this skill is changed. It now deals a lot more lines of damage, but you can only hit up to 4 monsters. You use this when you go bossing. Soul Rage also increases your final damage and critical damage when it's active. Heroes and battle mages have a similar skill. I think it's called Enrage for heroes. With the remaster, Mihile did lose his ability to spawn a cross that deals damage after using your 4th job mobbing attack Shining Cross. This used to be one of your passive hyper skills you could turn on. Instead, Mihile now learns a new 4th job skill called Install Shield. It's basically the same thing, but better. Install Shield can be used anywhere, but does have a 40-second cooldown. Its attacks deal 225% damage 4 times, up to 6 monsters. And there are new hyper skill passives that increase the damage, monsters hit and duration of the shield. The shield without the hyper skill will last for 60 seconds at max level. There also is a new passive that enhances the damage of Offensive Defense, and that skill also passively increases the damage of Royal Guard by another 200%. So that's about it for 4th job. I know I sound quite happy and excited about this class, but that's just because I like this class. The grinding of this class is a lot better than what it used to be before the remaster, but it's still not really like amazing or anything like that. It's decent at best, but I do like it. By the way, even with 300 ping, I had no problem playing this class whatsoever. Even animation cancelling with Royal Guard was working fine. But one issue that this class still has is that all skills, especially on the 4th job and 5th job, still will cost you like all your mana. I kept leveling this class a little bit higher. At level 140, you learn your first hyper skill Soul Majesty. This is a new hyper skill that increases the reduced damage effect buff from one of your 4-drop skills when Royal Guard is used. Plus your install shield buff will now also activate the offensive defense buff, and the cooldown on the debuff that will appear whenever you use Royal Guard will be decreased from 12 seconds to 2 seconds, leaving more room for a burst by combining your install shield with this skill when you go bossing. That's some nice additional damage right there, pretty useful actually. Quick question, should I make a video to dissect and mostly tear apart the art style of the remastered skills for the Night of Sickness? These animations are so hard to see, man. It's like a quick yellow blob appears and that's it. There is no shading whatsoever, it's just one shiny thing that's appearing. This attack does leave a debuff on enemies that leaves them vulnerable for your party members, increasing the damage dealt to the debuffed monster by 10%, and of course it does a crap ton of damage. I believe the 5th drop skills are still the same. The big shield still blocks enemy attacks and increases damage. The shield can defend you and your party members multiple times before it breaks. The short cooldown big sword skills that deals damage is still there as well. This 12-second cooldown attack deals more damage depending on how many stacks of Royal Guard you have. The Radiant Soul skill enhances your normal attack with a big blast of light. You can use the skill again to unleash an additional attack, and the timing window for Royal Guard is slightly bigger when the skill is active. Your Light of Courage shielding skill that gives all party members a shield while increasing your own damage seems to have some issues though after the remaster. The 10% shield that you get from Royal Guard when that 3rd job party skill is active overrides the shield given by this skill, which makes it kinda useless. Nexon hasn't fixed it yet, but everyone in MapleStory Korea is assuming that this isn't supposed to happen and that this is a bug. Now that I've played all classes after the remaster, I can finally give my full ranking, at least of the classes so far. I think Nightwalkers gained the most after the remaster, removing the need to jump attack, and they got better pads. After that, Mihile got the most improvements in my opinion, then Dawnwarrior, then Thunderbreaker, then Blaze Desert, and finally Wind Archer, who in my opinion got the least amount of improvements. What do you think of the remastered Mihile and all the remastered Night of Sickness? Let me know in the comments. And that was all for today. As always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Thanks to Niels, Coninck, Raar, maar waar, Sebastian, Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Anwar NHI, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Jesus Rodriguez, Froggy, Vira, Trevor, Michael Manchaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, ceemak, Striker Elk, Tidal1Pan, Victor Sunstrom, Radical Jaws, Ricer RU, Gummy Bullet, Lovebird, Certito655, Mathias Simonsson, Mr. Nar, Colando Belavia, my name is Coppersan and I'm super cute XOXO, PC Game Life, Dante Victory, Stanislaus Xumo Begus, Swap2Bish, Road to level 235, Turkistat, !reboot, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, I'm Disappointed, Lucky Beats, Gable Eck, Pedro Benetti, Conrad Castales, Ace Light, Ben Wolf, Max Bernhardt, Doc on the Talkerbox, Muka 1017, BMB King, Scotty Flies Fast, Priscilla, Brandon Cam, Shake1, Vague Botnet, Feco, and Gianfranco Calderon Canavero. Thank you all so much for watching, stay safe and happy mapling!